Thanks for visiting the patient and the weather today. I'm meteorologist Al Peterlin. I'd like to talk about the weather health stresses for May 28, 2026. We keep additional graphics at tpatw.com. We also maintain a storefront on patient weather on Amazon. Looking at the surface map for Thursday, high pressure is trying to build down through the eastern or northeastern portions of the country, but there is a massive front still hanging literally from Bismarck to St. Louis down to South Carolina. Lots of unsettled weather ahead and along the front, especially across the south and all the way to Florida. There is a bubble low still trying to push into the Pacific Northwest. Looking at our vitality index, there's a little bit of stresses in lots of the country, but the more important areas are right here in Northern California. A little bit of activity still in the high plains, a little bit down in Texas, and of course we have that moisture swath across the south. Looking at the change in pressure, we have rising pressure here along central California and along the northwestern coast of California. We also have pressure from southern Wisconsin into northern Illinois, across Michigan into northern Indiana, Ohio, a little bit of northwestern Pennsylvania, and upstate New York. Looking at temperature change, we will continue to have some unusually warm temperatures in the northern plains, but note that for Thursday we have a bubble of high pressure trying to build across Colorado. Looking at dew point temperature change, not a lot of activity going on here. A little bit of dry out in West Texas and still some moisture lingering across the middle Atlantic states, especially around Pennsylvania. Looking at instability, you'll see that we're moving instability a little bit up to Mississippi and into the Ohio Valley, but again, this is not a really wide swath of instability, more typical flow up from the Gulf. Looking at the change in oxygen availability, and here we have a lot of activity going on. You'll note that we have migraine stresses in central California, in northern coastal California, into Oregon, and across into the southernmost portions of Idaho. But the major swath of migraine stresses is across the northern third of the country, really from South Dakota into Nebraska, trying to reach down into Missouri, but really covering Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin, all the way across West Virginia into Virginia, Maryland, Pennsylvania, and all across New England. So that northern swath, a risk of migraine. The risk of asthma and arthritis is mainly in western Washington state, and then across Colorado, into Oklahoma, and down into the southeastern portions of Texas. Note we also have a risk of asthma and arthritis here across the Florida Panhandle. Thanks for visiting the patient and the weather today. Your comments are appreciated, and if you hurt, tell us where you're located.